92.7 WOBM. We're doing studio sessions today, joined by local artist Joey Evans. Joins us today to talk about new music and performing locally and everything going on in his life. Joey, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you for having us. Thank you. It's good to be here.
Let's talk a little bit about, let's start. I always like to ask the musicians when it all began. You picked up a guitar. Were you 5? Were you 10? Were you 20?
Yeah.
What got you started in the music?
It's been a long road, and if you back up, through the street of hard rocks, and it's a good thing we have Asbury Park to go, get your kicks out on. You got to learn stage presence and all that along the way. But going way back, we're going back to 1979 when I was a young lad. We were, it was 1979 for Christmas. My parents bought me a Fender Music Master 3/4 bass. And that's just scaled down a little because it's smaller because the basses are so big.
Yeah.
And it was like, I remember at the time, if you remember, the Knack was out with My Sharona.
Yes.
And the bass line in that was so driven. So I remember that was the first riff I learned.
Really? The Knack,
yeah. For real.
Go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I loved the guitar lead also. And then what led me to guitar was along the way, I went through the Mel Bay books, took lessons in a little store in Point Pleasant called Blue Note Music, so then you start jamming with friends, you get in junior high and stuff. Then what happened was I went to guitar because my bass was actually, I lent it out and was stolen. So then, which is, life is a funny thing. It ended up being a great thing because it led me to go to guitar.
Yeah.
Because my big brother had a Strat in the house, so I moved over to guitar lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then it was about a year, then I replaced the bass. And, and I was playing bass, and at that point, like the Geddy Lee bass lines were out, the Big Rush was big, the Police were big, Duran was big. So there was a lot of bass-driven artists out there and acts, out on the live circuit. So bass always stayed with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then guitar, of course, that was, at that time definitely dominated.
Folks like Geddy Lee and Sting, ended up becoming the frontmen with bass, which was something you didn't always see. Although I guess you could say with the Beatles, Paul McCartney was there too.
Right, the originator, right?
Yeah.
Of course, and which I am a big Beatles fan. And we grew up on stuff like Stones, Beatles,
Yeah.
The Who, Zepp, and of course the Kinks. So that was like the big 5 British Invasion guys, which you know. So that we grew up on when bands were great. Today it's a little bit cookie cutter, a lot of production products out there, which are great in the studio sense. But then, I feel like we're not seeing like the next great band come out. It always seems to be a big gap when the great bands come out lately.
We're talking with Joey Evans today about music. And do you like performing in studio and creating, or do you like performing created stuff on stage? Like, which is better, live or in the studio for you?
Oh, well, we have a multi-track at home, and we're blessed, really. We have a studio at home at Josie's, which she supports that. We have the home digital.
Mm-hmm.
But, tracking and lofting around and experimenting and taking it out, it's nice at home because the studio clock's not running. And what we'll do is we record at home, and then if we feel like this song's good enough, then we'll go to a studio to mix in.
Yeah.
I do cut complimentary mixes at home, but nothing like going to a nice studio, and mixing down.
Now, your new EP, you actually went to Nashville to record this.
Yeah, right. And it's funny because we just started calling the project Nashville because, we went down there 4 times. We cut a video. We went down for the initial consultation, and we met with Dave Moody of Le Mans Records. He's a big Dove Award winner down there. He was nominated for a Grammy way back, and he's well rooted, like somebody you can trust. And then so we got with Steve Marcantonio, who's a reputable engineer, and so we put that together, and when it came time to, they says to me, "Do you have any suggestions or what you'd want to call this?"
Yeah.
And we were just like, we always just been referring to it as Nashville. So we're like, just, that's it. There's nothing else said,
What was it like getting into a studio like that? Because, obviously you're going in there with a big-time producer and lots of, great equipment, and just the whole Nashville scene had to be, a little overwhelming, I guess, to a degree, right?
It was nice. They're the good old boys down there down south, man, and they operate a certain way, and time and efficiency is taken into, but the professionalism is there, and they are. I gotta say, they are like one take. That's it. They got it.
They want the real first thing that's kind of going, right?
Nothing was cut on that record, and it, nothing chopped and edited as far as burning the initial tracks. And of course, we went in, we ran through the song 2 or 3 times. Each song, the engineers warming up, the board and all that. So then when it came to capturing, it was like a one-shot deal. It reminded me of the old sessions from way back, like the Elvis sessions, just to, mention. Like, in other words, everybody had their glass partition. Everybody had their charts out. They learned my songs. They were ready to go. They came in. I never seen anything like it in my life. Totally different contrast from what I do at home.
Now, you've got some great stuff going on, Joey, live that's coming up. Let's talk about Asbury Park. Coming up on July 9th, you're going to be at the Wonder Bar, which is a fantastic place up there in Asbury.
Yes, we're in with the co-writer and a good friend of Bruce Springsteen. It's Joe Grusecki.
Yes.
And the House Rockers. So Tony Pellegrassi put us on that show because he loves the CD and he likes us live. And, he's supporting us in that way that we go out with, some little, better events, so, and it's on Ticketmaster, and we were happy about that. We got put on a Ticketmaster billing, so that's kind of an accomplishment for us. We're climbing that ladder, it's...
That's Saturday night, July the 9th. Doors open at 7 at the Wonder Bar to check out the Joey Evans and Joey Evans band there that night. That's going to be cool. Another thing you're doing, we were talking about this a little bit before we started. Strand Theater, you're doing a benefit, Love for Lily benefit show, which is going to be coming up this summer, which is giving back to a local young girl, which I think is a fantastic way to incorporate your music and to also incorporate the project as well. And your sister is here with us, Josie.
Yeah. You want to talk a little?
Josie,
I
want to take a moment to talk about this because this is a great thing that Joe's involved with here locally to help out a little girl.
Yes, Sean, we're very excited about this upcoming show, October 15th, and we were paying attention to Love for Lily's page on Facebook for many months and literally fell in love with this beautiful girl and her beautiful smile. And so when Joe finished the Nashville record, I thought, what way can we better present the new album locally and have a benefit show that's going to help this family accomplish their goal. And we're so excited about that to help them meet their goal. And Lily is just this beautiful 7-year-old girl that lives in Toms River. Her life is constantly a struggle with, the needs she has. And she's getting bigger now. She requires more equipment. So the family wants to make some updates to their home. So we really want to help get them on their way with that.
Yeah, and she suffers from a form of cerebral palsy. And I'm looking at her at the Facebook page here for it, which you guys are linked up to.
She a cute little
well.
button.
Oh,
yeah. She's sweet. I love her. That's love at first sight. You gotta love her.
She had a stroke before she was born, and she has quadriplegia and cerebral palsy. And I spoke with her mother a few times, and I told her, Mom, even though I don't have children, you're such an inspiration to me because I see what you do with every day and how you're giving this girl this beautiful, as close to normal as possible Jersey Shore life. And it is an inspiration. And it reminds us that, if they can meet these challenges, we can also meet our own challenges and go on. So
this is going to be at the Strand Theater. What date?
Strand Theater, October 15th.
Okay.
That's a Saturday night.
Doors open at 6 p.m. And the tickets will be available on the Strand's website, and there's also going to be some exciting fundraising events there and everything like that.
Excellent.
So we hope to get everybody out.
And that's ticketbiscuit.com also at strand.org, and it's a Saturday, the 15th of October.
When we want to get Joey Evans info, where's the best place to go?
For now, we have our Facebook page. It's Joey Evans Music on Facebook, and we've been updating that regularly. We are going to be expanding to a website and some more connectivity with other things online. But for now, the best place is the Facebook Joey Evans Music.
And they can get information on the EP Nashville there.
Yeah,
that's right.
LeMansRecords.com.
And Lamont Records has the full bio and full album, and the album's on iTunes as well.
Excellent. And I have listened to it. It's fantastic. I had it in the car the other day. I was driving around listening to it, pumped up on the speakers there. It was sounding good.
You a Kinks fan?
Yes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, very much so. I got a chance to see them once, 1982.
Rockin', yeah.
It was in Philadelphia.
Oh,
Philadelphia
June 19th.
Philadelphia
with Foreigner.
Jam. Yes.
With Foreigner.
Don't
It
tell me.
was Joan Jett, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you were there.
I was there, brother.
I was there too.
All right, brother. We're in the same camp.
The only thing I didn't understand, I thought maybe the Kinks should have gone last. It was Foreigner last.
Foreigner was last, and
I thought the Kinks maybe should have closed it out.
they were
And you
absolutely tour de force, and it changed my life seeing that show. I was up close on the field for that.
Yeah, and if you remember, Chrissy Hine even came out.
Chrissy Hines came out,
Yeah,
right?
she came out. She was dating Ray at
absolutely
the time.
fantastic.
Really? It was Small World, isn't it?
Small
that
World.
You were there, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
remember
was
they had
there.
a couple groups we never heard of. Huey Lewis and the News.
Huey Lewis and the News
No one
opened
knew
the
they
show,
were.
baby.
The Hooters were there.
Yeah.
Joan Jett. Yeah.
Joan Jett
Loverboy.
rocks. Yeah, Loverboy. Yeah, right. That
Well,
was a
brings back
dynamite
memories.
show, man.
Well, enough of us reminiscing. We're going
Yeah.
to get to some of Joe's music, which
Us
is
old
new. It's
timers.
called Nashville, and you can get it online. Check out his Facebook page. We'll have links to it on our webpage at WOBM.com.